Okay, this is being done for Paul, who recently had an ankle sprain, or we don't really know what exactly it is, but I told him to make this really fast, and I'll put it up on my vlog, making myself a little tripod here. Okay, that should probably work. Okay, so anyway, he was talking about, or I was talking to him about, some parts of your foot that you can do some tests with your feet or whatever, ankles, to see if he's either got this sprain on the side of his foot, on the medial side of his foot, or if he has what's called pretty much when you do the jam of the nerve sac inside your ankle. But first thing that you want to do, so he's got bruising along right here of his ankle, okay, and I've had a second degree ankle sprain where I tore 2 ligaments on the lateral side, one on the medial side, a long time ago, so I can kind of bear with it. He seems to have only torn one right here because he said he felt a pop when you landed. But anyway, getting to the basic drill thing I told him that I want him to look at, pretty much on the top of your foot, right here, okay, this is a very common injury for parkour athletes, right here, okay, you can pretty much, it's this little soft spot, right between these two, this main ligament right here, and then right here might be a tendon. Actually, hold on, I think it's actually a tendon because it tightens up like that. But yeah, it's a tendon. Anyway, go right here, this little soft spot right here, there's a nerve sac in there, okay. Now if you can push into that and you already feel it being very, very tender, you might have already hit it. So another way to find out too is pretty much take your foot and you flex it up like this. Now if that hurts in there, okay, it hurts me because I actually did jam this one really bad almost a year ago now, and it's still recovering from it. And the only way I was able to do that is to do some special exercises and just to get the range of motion back. First thing is you got to let the tension go away, and in order for you to actually get the mobility back. But so first of all, just pull your foot back up like this, and if you feel a kind of a pain inside this spot right here, kind of like it's crushing something, then that's a good indicator that that's what you hit. I don't know if you can hit that hard enough to cause bruising on the outside here, but that could also be something that has affected you as well as tearing something along that line. Yeah, with this foot I can pull that back and I pretty much don't feel any pain whatsoever, so I know it's, you know, not the same. I feel more of a stretch in my Achilles on this one, or gastrocnemius. So that's the first indicator. So simple test, just pull back on the foot. If it's jamming in there, here are some exercises you can do. First one is, if it happens to be right when you're training, the most simple exercise you can do is just take your foot like this and you just roll it around in circles. Usually if I jam my ankle really bad, I just do that about 100 times. I don't use my hand to do it. I do the muscles do the work, so that they're kind of refiguring out all that they can do all that motion still. Okay, so because pretty much it'll tighten up and like, oh, I don't want to move, and you're like, okay, well, you gotta move. I'm doing parkour here, so you're gonna just let it go around like that. I do 100 one way, 100 the other, and it'll be nice and juiced up then, and you'll probably be ready to go right after that. This also tends to happen as an injury because of if you land and of course you flex back too far. That's why we always talk about active ankles, landing on the ball of the foot, okay, landing on the ball of the foot right there, and the heel's going to come down a little bit, especially when you do edge landings. It has to. But keeping those heel up as best you can, and then bending in the knee more versus letting the foot flex back like that is going to save you a lot. That's why it's so important, especially depending on what kind of shoes you're wearing. But here's another thing you can do. It's pretty simple. Get a TheraBand. Okay, these are like these long band things. You can get them at almost any sports store, and you can get them online for pretty cheap. This is actually a pretty weak one. I like to use the most highest setting, but so a really simple thing I like to do if you have jammed the top of your ankle bone, okay, here, is pretty much, I don't know if I can get a good look at this here. Okay, that's better. Anyway, so I take it, I wrap it over the top of my toes like that, okay, and I pull back on it this way, and then my foot pretty much it flexes. Okay, it flexes. I'll get a better shot of that for you. So right here, okay, yeah, I'm here. I have, here's my knee is up, my other foot goes on top of it so it's flexed, and I wrap this around like that. And then from here, I pull back to cause tension, and then I flex my foot upward. And what this is doing is it's causing you to have to actively pull back on your ankle, whereas before it was just kind of jamming in that area. Now you're actually asking the muscles to support that range of motion versus just being passively into it. I'll do it facing you guys. So here, I'm pulling tension, flex the foot, flex the foot, flex the foot. And I do that actually until I feel the foot actually getting kind of the ankle or the probably your shin, it's more in your shin area, where it starts to get kind of sore from pulling up. Or like, if you ever, I don't know if you've ever done this before, like when you do forearm grip stuff or anything like that and your forearm begins to kind of burn. I like it when the shin starts to burn because that really means that it's kind of you're getting a little bit of fatigue, and that'll go away really, really fast. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, then I'll be fatigued and I can't jump. Well, no, it'll be fine. So just take a break after that, and then I do it again about 2 or 3 times, and I would say like 20 times will be good for you. So 3 sets of 20 on the angle if that's the case. If that's not the case, then I'll put a link to some rehab stuff I do for my ankles if they do get hurt or anything like that. Also, just making sure your ankles are always really active, so doing ball of the foot jumps off the floor, so you're just constantly bouncing off the ball of the foot, or you're making sure that you're pushing through like this, you're not just hitting it flat the whole time. So constantly making sure to push off like that. That's going to be very important for recovery, so that your body knows, okay, don't put my heel down and cause that ankle to flex up. So hope that helps. Simple test to figure out if that's what caused it. And a little tiny rehab thing you can do. Just roll the ankle out a lot. And the TheraBand exercise. There's a couple other ones, but those are the main ones that I use to help recover from it. And do those before any training session if you're doing them, or just while you're recovering from that. Alright man, talk to you later. Bye.